Hello and welcome to Wake Up Legendary. My name is Joanne. I am the marketing manager here at Legendary Marketer, and I am so pumped to be your last minute host this morning. It is Tuesday, August 16th. Need to verify. It's nice and early for me this morning. And we have another fantastic guest. I know you're going to love hearing his story, all of the good stuff, and as the title reads for us, 2,000 leads in a week. So let's bring him on. Let me introduce everyone to Ryan. How's it going, Ryan?
Hey, how's it going, Joanne? I appreciate you having me on this morning.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here and just share with our audience your story and all of that good stuff. But first, give us some background. How did you find Legendary to begin with?
Yeah, actually, I found Legendary through somebody who I had been following throughout the health and fitness industry. That's kind of my background and where I come from. And he had been doing the same thing for several years. And then I didn't see him on social media for a while. And then he came back on and he was talking about finding a new career path that was landing him some great money to start with little experience. And I'm like, well, I've followed you before. I trust what you say. I'm going to give it a shot. And the next thing you know, I was in the 15-day challenge, and I'm like, well, I could definitely see myself doing this. And then I gave it a shot. I went with the blueprints, and here I am today. And I'm stoked. I'm stoked he went that route, because if he didn't go that route, I don't know if I would have saw the promotion to try this for myself.
Right. So you had someone you're following that basically you trusted in another niche, another reason you were following. So you already built that trust factor with him.
Yes.
What made you think, you know what, I'm just going to dive in and see how this goes as well? Once you already saw him switch up, sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to just follow some because they did something new. So what made you feel like, this is something I need to try?
So two things: the fact that he was originally from the fitness background, and that's where I currently am. Mm-hmm. And the fact that someone can go from fitness to this, and it was an easy transition for him, made me think to myself, okay, well, maybe I can do it too then. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, although my current job that I still am at now is doing okay financially for myself and my family, I've just never been the type to really settle for okay. And I've always wanted more. I want to be able to do more. I want more time with my daughter. So if I can turn this into something to where I could possibly maybe leave my 9-to-5 in the future, then that would be the ultimate end goal. So the fact that he was making all this money, I'm like, well, I got to at least give it a shot, because if I sit here with this job, I'm pretty stagnant currently with it. So let's try something new. If it turns into a couple $100 a month, cool. Maybe it turns into something more. Mm-hmm. And so far out of the gate, it's definitely turned into something more. And I'm excited for where it leads. So it's been an amazing start. And I'm so glad I saw his post and he's done this. And he's actually been kind of like a mentor to me since then.
Very cool. So when did you join the challenge?
I joined the challenge probably 3 months ago, but only been actually doing the skills learned for about 6-7 weeks.
All right, 6 weeks. So it's brand new.
We're brand new, yes.
We're new. When you jumped into the challenge, did you go all in, go through all the days? Did you pause? Did you worry?
I blasted through it. I was kind of frustrated. Okay. I couldn't get my business plan managers faster. Like I had to wait 2 days for a call. I was like, let's go. I'm ready.
Awesome. Who was your advisor?
Alvaro, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I love him. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, it's interesting how people choose to go through the challenge, and action always wins.
No, absolutely. I mean, everything Dave was talking about, I was floating with it. I was agreeing with it. And I'm such a motivational guy that once someone starts speaking in a motivational way like Dave does, I'm hooked. I get hooked in. I want to try it. I want to do it. I want to get out there and start doing what I'm learning.
Awesome. So what platform did you jump on first?
So it's funny because outside of this digital marketing world, I didn't really have social media. I had a personal Instagram that I used just to show off my 2-year-old daughter on stories and maybe 100 followers. Never had a TikTok, told myself I would never do TikTok, and hopped on TikTok immediately. So I did create a a social platform for this with Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, although I prioritize TikTok and Facebook as those seem to have much better organic reach.
Wow. Okay. So 6 weeks ago, you were basically not present on social media.
None. Didn't know how to use it. Didn't really care for it. Didn't want to be a part of it. And now 6 weeks later, I'm fully invested into social media. Fully invested.
And let me see. We are at, I know your Facebook account has 10,000 followers.
Yes.
And
TikTok is currently a little over 14.
14,000 in 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Not knowing a thing about social media.
Okay, so let's back up on that, because I know there are some people that are like, I am not tech savvy. I'm not on social media. They find it as a roadblock.
Yes. So, and that was my biggest fear going through the 15-day challenge. Every single day they would speak, and I just like in my head, like, man, I don't use social media. And I think you have to be good at social media to do this. So I hope, I'm going to learn some of this. And in the blueprints, you definitely get a full scope on how to use each platform. But the biggest thing for me was really just kind of putting myself out there, being myself, and then just see what transpires from it. Getting in front of the camera, knowing my first few videos probably aren't going to be that well. My first few, things on Facebook, on TikTok aren't gonna fly immediately. But if I just keep at it, it's a skill that you can get better at and get more comfortable with. And then nothing's more reassuring than having that one video that does really well, and you start getting comments and people like what you're doing and people want to follow what you're doing. Once you get that and then your confidence builds, then it becomes extremely easy to get on camera.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to back you up even more.
Yeah, no problem.
That first day, I have to actually edit and post a video.
Oh man, it took me like 2 hours to be comfortable posting my first video. I must have deleted it, edited it 20 times, and nerve-wracking. TikTok doesn't get you your first view for like an hour, and I'm like, oh no, did I do it wrong? Did I not do it good enough? No one's paying attention to me. Did I make a mistake? Oh, the doubts creep in immediately. But the key is just staying consistent with it. You get better as you go. The views start coming, comments start coming. People are curious about what you're doing. You get to share what you're doing, and it just starts going from there. Like I said, I knew nothing about social media, didn't want no part of it. And 10,000 followers on each platform in the first 6 weeks just goes to show that really anybody can get on and do it. Right.
So how often did you start posting right out the gate? Did you pause here, I finally got one, I'm going to wait a week?
Yeah, so I let my first video sit for a day because it took like 8 hours to even get one view. I don't know if that's just how TikTok works to start or whatnot. And then I tried doing 1 or 2 a day. And then, I have a hunger for education on something I'm doing. So, I went on YouTube, how to go viral on TikTok, how to do well on Facebook Reels. What are the keys? Do you use other editing apps? Do you use the apps editing apps? And then I would just consume myself with even more knowledge. And then I would just go from there. And then next thing you know, I learned that 4 videos a day was the key to building the algorithm to kind of find you and start promoting you out there. So that's kind of what I've been doing since then, 4 videos a day.
Wow.
But now it's much more enjoyable. I kind of now enjoy being behind camera. I enjoy making content, and I enjoy seeing the success that comes from it.
Right. And I think there was a lot of gold you just dropped in that 30-second clip. Yeah. First of all, guys, he's posting 4 times a day.
Yes.
You are pumping out content.
Yes.
Absolutely pumping out content. I have seen a couple people make comments. I've been doing this for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. And I would go take a look at their social and whatnot because they finally would reach out for help. And there's 6 videos over.
Yeah. The key is content, creating a lot of it, because you got to think of every video as a statistic almost. And every time you put a video out there online, you have that much more of a chance of someone to see you and someone to be curious about what you're doing. If you only have a few videos out there over a span of 3 months, you're not really giving yourself that much of a percentage chance to be seen, to be heard, to be followed, and therefore to get out whatever you're promoting. So if you can get yourself to do that 4 videos a day, maybe not at first, maybe it's 1 video a day for the first week, then 2 videos, and 3, and then you build yourself up to 4. Once you get some confidence, you're really giving yourself a chance and a high percentage to be seen by others. And then once that starts, the word of mouth starts going. Maybe they tell their friends about your video, and then it just goes from there.
Yeah. I think another key, whether you realize it or not, that you said, you posted your first video, you did wait because you wanted that view. You're waiting for that confirmation from an outside source that you have no control over.
Yes, and that is the scariest part. Absolutely.
You went, you know what? This is my business. I'm diving back into my education. I'm diving back into how do I make this work? And you went from worrying about what other actions other people may or may not take, and just went, this is what I'm going to do, no matter what.
Exactly. And that's, if you can get to that mindset and to that place, then I think creating content just becomes that much easier for you. If you're not focusing so much on if you're being viewed and just kind of getting out there, having fun, creating content, then you can be successful. And I actually know a few people who don't even show their face, and they kill it on social media platforms because it's not really about showing your face. I think it helps because having someone that you see and kind of know their personality can help build a little bit more trust that way. But that's my personal opinion. But I've definitely seen plenty of accounts kill it with just script and trending sounds and blow up from there.
So when you're deciding content, because obviously you're pumping out a lot, and have you had a week or a period of time where you're like, man, these videos just aren't doing anything. I'm not getting any traction from them. When that happens, what do you do? Do you blame Instagram? Do you stop posting? Or what's the switch you make for anyone that's like, I've been doing this and it's just not working?
Absolutely not. I'm competitive by nature, so I just kind of turn it into a little bit of a competition in my mindset. Hey, these 4 videos didn't work. Let's pay attention to why. What were my hooks? What was the length of the video? Was I not offering value to my customer? Let's take a step back and let's, come back to the education part. Maybe go back to the blueprints, review what they think about TikTok. Let's look at other successful people in my niche. What have they been posting that they've been doing well for them? Can I not copy it, but can I replicate it with my own personality and maybe take a look at some of their best videos, replicate it, and see if that builds a spark back into my page? And I've been really successful by doing that. Just always consuming more, and especially consuming from people that are doing well, consuming from people that are doing really well, and then trying to recreate my own versions of it, my own personality, so that way my following gets to know me, trust me, and I can build from there.
Right. It's so important to bring yourself into your content.
Yes.
It's good to look at what's working.
Yes. But you don't want to be a complete copycat. You really got to bring
your them. Like an audience can smell.
Absolutely.
Smell it out, when it's not authentic, when it isn't real.
100%.
They just can feel it. It's sometimes, I don't know. Let me think about how I want to word this. Okay. There's a point where sometimes people think, oh, this isn't working, so they quit.
Yes.
But instead, it's like, just quit what isn't. Like, look back at your content. Quit that, not the whole business. Decide there's something I need to change. What can I do different? What can I do new? You have nothing to lose, so why not try it?
Absolutely.
Try a different hook, right? Would you agree with that? How do you feel about that?
Every post you do can be a lesson learned, because if it didn't do well, then take a look at some of the reasons it didn't do well. If you didn't offer value in that post, make sure your next post offers a little bit more value. If the hook you use didn't really draw attention, maybe look at another hook. So it can be easy to be discouraged when something you're doing is something you want to work so bad doesn't work. But I promise, if you just keep at it, if you learn your mistakes from your previous posts and try to fix them on your future posts, you will find that success. It's out there. There's a lot of people out there finding success. Anyone can do it. And I love seeing people do it. Now that I'm actually helping others do what that gentleman I spoke of in the beginning, his name is Sean Sarantos. I'm sorry if I butchered his last name, but he's with Legendary as well.
I love Sean. I talk to him like weekly. He tunes in. What up, Sean?
Exactly. So he's kind of mentioned me through this. So the fact that he was able to do that for me, and now that I'm doing this for others, it's fantastic.
Wow. I love that. Mm-hmm. I see in the comments there's some people that are just feeling like, oh, I've been doing this, nothing's working. I'm doing, they're in that frustration mode. And be your own critic, so to speak.
Yes.
but not be a pity party. Go
Exactly.
in with, I'm going to assess my own content to improve, not to put myself down.
Yes, and then you kind of gotta go into it not being afraid to fail, because it's gonna happen. You're gonna have those posts that just don't do anything. You may have a dry month, just where nothing seems to work, and you feel like you're not making any money. Maybe you made a mistake. This wasn't the right business for you. But it's just making sure that you don't allow being afraid to fail to actually stop you from progressing. Because if you keep working at it, you're gonna find success in this business. It's tried and true form for thousands of people. There's no reason it wouldn't work for you or anybody. So the key there is you got to be comfortable with failing along the way, and that even when you're having your highest success moments, your very next post could just tank, and you wonder why it happened. But you learn from that post, you make the next one. Because the best thing about TikTok is you're not judged on anything you did prior. Every post is its own entity, and every post is judged for its unique post that day. So if your last 20 posts didn't do well, your next post is going to get a complete fair judgment.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Just like life, every day is a new day to do something
brand new day.
new, make a new decision, and to make a new video.
Exactly.
Right?
That's why you just keep pushing out content, because one's going to work. And then when that one works, you learn from it. You make more of it. Hammer it down.
And
Absolutely.
if something didn't work, learn from that too.
Absolutely. I mean, mistakes are the best way to learn and grow as a person in your business and in life in general.
Yeah, it's sometimes we have a problem, like humans in general take failure as an identity.
Yeah.
I'm a failure. You're not a failure. It was a moment. Maybe that moment was one decision. Maybe that moment's lasting a day. Maybe it's one video. Maybe it's a couple weeks of videos, right? But it's still a moment. It's not who you are.
Yes. Failure is temporary. It's never ongoing. As long as you keep pushing the path, as long as you don't allow it to cripple you, it's only temporary.
It's just a way to learn.
Absolutely. It's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
The most successful people in the world all had a lesson they learned from a mistake, from failure.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you feel like, where are you headed right now? What's working right now? Are you seeing more traction on TikTok, on Facebook, or is it a good mix between the two?
Actually, a lot of my traction comes from Facebook, surprisingly. I mean, Facebook Reels is like hot, and you just get so much more people to, even though I have a little bit more followers on TikTok, Facebook Reels is where I'm really getting people to comment, people to go through my leak. Like I said, the title email, 2,000 leads in 1 week. That was all Facebook. The traction right now currently from Facebook Reels is fantastic. There's just so much more engagement. Maybe because it's new. It's the hot new app out there, and that's why it's being used so aggressively right now. So I encourage anyone who's starting now to definitely hop on Facebook Reels. That is definitely where most of my traction is coming from currently.
And it's a personal account, yeah?
Yes, it's personal, but geared towards the digital marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not a business page.
Yeah,
and
it's not a business page.
That's a hang up that people have. They're like, how do I separate my friends and family? And I don't want them to see what I'm doing. Did you struggle with that? How did you go through that transition?
Yeah, when this first started, I had that, my friends and family are not going to understand this. They're going to see somebody who they never saw on social media, and now they're going to see him doing these silly videos, and they're going to wonder, what's going on? What is he doing? Why is he doing that? And that was kind of another hurdle I had to get past with is, am I going to be judged? Do I care if I'm judged? And at the end of the day, I was like, this is going to help my family. It's going to give them things that, I can only dream of giving them. So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do it regardless if they judge me or not. And once I show them I'm successful, I'm sure their thoughts on it will change anyway.
Did you get any comments from family and friends when you started?
Absolutely. From the first day I started till now, the topic at almost every dinner table is the post during the week, why I choose to do what I do. Is it working? Is it real? Is it legal?
Is it legal? That's my favorite.
Some of the I'm Portuguese, and a little bit some of the old school Portuguese mentality doesn't really understand kind of the new ways of business like this. So for my parents to see what I'm doing, my dad just like, don't get in any trouble. Are you sure you're not doing anything illegal? So it's perfectly legal.
Right.
But it's new. It's definitely new.
So I know you're feeling that. What's your advice for anyone watching that's dealing with those comments from family and friends, and that it's actually a roadblock for them?
I think you just kind of have to, encourage anyone who thinks what you're doing is skeptical and encourage them that there are thousands of other people doing it. It's a great opportunity to go on Google and look what digital marketers are making a year, affiliate marketers are making a year, maybe provide some statistics of what other people are doing to kind of show them, because to the older generation, this is something new and different. It's not your typical 9 to 5 where you submit a job application. So they don't see that and they don't think it's legitimate. And having the support of friends and family, I think, is huge in a journey like this, especially when you start. So if you can, show some legitimacy to what affiliate marketing and digital marketing is, show some stats on Google, what people are making, and maybe even show them some people who are having success in their videos to let them know that you're not the only one doing this, I think is a big key. And that's kind of what I did with my my mom and dad, is I showed them other people who were being successful. I showed them some of the income they were making. They're like, well, hey, if you can do that, then by all means, be silly.
Right. I love this comment because it's so true, guys. As Kurt shared, they don't pay your bills, so they don't get to make decisions for you.
Exactly.
They don't get to tell you what you should and should not do.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself and your family. And if you think this is an opportunity or a road that can do that, by all means, full steam ahead.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So what's next? Where do you feel like you're going next? Are you going live at all? What's next?
I'm trying to figure out ways that I can go live. I would love to start doing Q&As with some of my audience. I kind of wanted to build it up more in hopes that my lives would have a larger audience. I've kind of dabbled with live, but I really haven't gone too much into it. Although I hope to make that transition now that I've built up a little bit more of an audience.
Right.
There's still a lot of skepticism out there around affiliate marketing and digital marketing. So to do some Q&As to help people, maybe lessen their fears about possibly getting started. So I definitely want to do some lives. My goals are nowhere near complete, or where I have set for myself to do as far as followings, money made, etc. So I still have a long way to go. Very excited of what I've been able to do in the first 6 weeks, and that only motivates me to go after it even more.
Wow. I love it. So how is your support from your spouse?
Oh man, my wife loves what I'm doing. At first, kind of the same as anyone else. You sure that's the road you want to go? But she also followed Sean for a long time too.
Okay.
So I think the fact that I started this from someone that we both trusted made it a little easier to move forward. But yeah, now that she sees me out there making the videos, doing this, she's definitely excited for me. She supports everything I do, and it's been great knowing that I have that on my side.
Do you feel like it's brought, I don't know, just like a better version of yourself out, even though it's like you're growing personally, like yourself? Do you see that coming out at all?
Absolutely, because going to your 9 to 5, and if you don't love it, you kind of come home a little moody, a little this. But now I come home from my work, and it's like, okay, I get my time with my daughter, and then my daughter goes to bed. It's like, all right, now I'm working on my business. Now I'm working on what I do is going to generate myself money, my family money. And that's just a different joy. It's a different feeling when the money you're bringing to your family is because solely your work, it's your business, it's your doing. So now it's fantastic. I wake up in the morning, I go to the gym, I work on my business. Go to my 9 to 5, come home, daughter time, my business. And just the fact that I get to work on my own business twice a day now, every day, there's definitely a lot more joy. It's brought more joy to the marriage, to the partnership. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm a better father, so I'm a little more happier all the time. Yeah. I try sometimes to incorporate my daughter into the video a little bit, and that's kind of fun to do.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just oozing with just pride and confidence, and that's what it's all about. It's yours.
Yes, that's the best part.
And I think some people going through the challenge struggle with really transitioning into understanding. It's yours. You own this. This is your business. This is your responsibility, but it's all you. You
Absolutely.
get to decide this path. You get to decide how you show up. You get to decide if your face is on camera. You get to decide if you're going to speak, if you're going to go live, if you're only going to go on Instagram. You get to choose that. And when people get out of, I'm just an employee learning and I'm just going to apply this, like as an employee, still waiting for someone else to make things happen for me, that's where people get stuck.
Yeah.
So you can get into the mindset that you have, Ryan, of this is mine. I'm in control and I make this happen. And I know that's what Sean did too.
Yeah, it's a completely different shift. You go from 8 hours of being told what to do, then you got to come home and it's like, all right, how do I get out of being told what to do to now I make the rules?
Right.
I'm doing this for myself now. What do I want to do? I'm the boss. How do we switch that mindset? That's part of it too. But that's definitely the most exciting part, because at the end of the day, you're working for yourself. You're your own boss. No one's telling you what to do. And if you have a great week and you want to take the weekend off, by all means, you don't got to ask your boss. You just take the weekend off.
Take the weekend off.
Take the week
you only
off.
make one video instead of 4 on a Saturday, right?
Exactly.
You
have that freedom, 100%.
Yeah, but man, that's huge. I never even thought about that you brought up. Even on a day-to-day, if you're at a 9 to 5 all day, you're in a specific mindset. And the only way you're going to really make progress in your business is if you're able to switch out of that when you're working on your business.
Yeah.
In the same day. And you have to make that transition over and over. Wow, that's huge. I think that's important for a lot of our listeners and followers to realize. I never even thought about that.
I can't tell you how many times I've come home from a 9 to 5 and try to rewind my day and be like, what did I do exactly at work today? Because you're on autopilot sometimes at a 9 to 5. You're just sitting there, you're doing what you know you have to do that day, or being told what to do, and you come home, you're like, But at the end of working on my business, I can tell you all about the 4 videos I just made, because I'm a little bit more excited there.
Right? You remember it? Like, I don't know what I did yesterday at work, but I can tell you what I did last night.
Yep. And then now that I actually just started my LLC, the fact that now it just really is a business, and I got a business name and a tax ID number. So now it's like real, which has been the most exciting part, to actually have something on paper, my name, my business. It's cool.
And that just grows the confidence even further, knowing.
Absolutely, because now it's like, hey, you're not just Ryan Silvera, the guy who does digital marketing. Now you're FS Marketing, the name of my business. I have a business name. I have a business entity, and that's the coolest part. Walking around with a business credit card just feels cool.
Right? You're not just dipping your toe. I'm going to post a TikTok video, and I hope it blows up automatically. Overnight, and I do nothing else. That's not how that works.
And for me, it was a mindset thing. It was like, hey, if I have to commit to paying, over $1,000 a year for this business entity, I better grind. So it's just another thing to keep me motivated. Hey, you got to afford this LLC at the end of the year. So let's keep grinding. Let's keep hustling and make sure you can do that.
And when you have that mindset, the LLC price, the funnel software monthly price, it's not a burden. It's just the cost of doing business.
Absolutely. If anything, it's motivation. Let's go. I got to take care of those costs, and then I got to make profit. So let's go through this. Let's do it.
Yeah, and then it's just not a big deal.
Yeah, then it's just a fee along the way, but no big deal at all.
And it's not like, the ClickFunnels monthly or whatever funnel builder you use. It's just not a big deal. It turns into like, it's just part of my business expenses.
Yep.
Cost of doing business. I'm bringing this in. What do I need to do to increase my profits even further? It's just it all comes back to thinking about your business as you're the CEO and not an employee in it. And that's
exactly. And once you get that LLC, those business expenses, you just write off anyway. So
right.
Enjoy that part of it too.
Perfect. I love it. So give me your piece of advice for anyone right now that is just struggling to post consistently because they just haven't seen the traction yet.
Yeah. My biggest advice is just, you've got to create the content. You got to get the content out there, and you got to get over that it has to be perfect mentality, because that's going to hold you back from posting most videos. A lot of people, they're going to rewatch it. They're going to change the script 500 times. and they're going to analyze it in their head so much that you never actually end up posting it, because in your mind it's never good enough. But you don't know if it's good enough until you actually post it. And that's the key, because you may not think it's perfect, but there may be 10,000 people out there who think it's perfect, like it, and you're going to get a lot of traction from that. So just give yourself much better odds and just post. If you can, start out twice a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, and just post. And you will, like anything in life, you keep doing it and you keep practicing, you're only going to get better. And you're going to find yourself making 4 videos in 20 minutes. You know, you're going to find yourself doing your videos for the whole week on Sunday. And then you get to relax all week and just post on the time you want to post.
Right?
It becomes that simple. But the key from starting out is really just getting over that it's got to be perfect, because what if no one likes it mentality? And you just got to get it out there. You got to post it, face or no face, and just see what happens. Start the traction. And don't be discouraged because the first 2 weeks no one's liking anything, because that very next post has the same exact chance to go viral.
Yeah. It's almost go into tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
Do not post anything for views. Don't post anything for likes. Don't post anything for comments. Don't post anything of what you think someone else wants. Just post for you, what you know, and then reevaluate.
Yeah. See what works, see what didn't work, and then go after that.
Yeah. I love this. This is what Deb just shared. She commented, keep it simple, take a leap, breathe, and do.
Just do. Exactly. That's a great comment. That's the best thing, is keeping it simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it. TikTok's about 5 to 7 second videos. So just make them, just go.
Yeah. That and watch what people are doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's
your own.
I mean, there's people who literally just sit behind the camera for 6 seconds while an audio plays with text on the screen. The next thing you know, they got 200,000 views and 2,000 leads from it. So why not? Just try it.
We had a guest on last week. She's in a mood to film. She'll just do like background video clips and store them.
Absolutely.
So if she's not in a mode to film and just wants to put text over some clips that she maybe grabbed a month ago, 2 months ago, and then you just have it and it's easy.
Boom. It's in your drafts. It's ready to post. I do encourage, though, if you do get that moment where you're feeling extra creative, set some time aside and just go at it, and then just start making a bunch. Because when you're feeling creative, that's when your best content comes out. So if you get that moment where you feel like you're really making some good content, I would say stay up a little bit later that night. Just keep making, save them to your drafts. And the next thing you know, you got a week's worth of videos full of energy.
Right. That is key. I 100% agree with that. When you are in a creative mode, just
go.
Just go.
Just go.
Don't review it. Just make. Create,
Create.
And then review it later.
Yes. Just get it down. It's like when you have that thought in your mind, you don't have a notepad down and write it down. But this time you got your phone. So if you got a thought in your mind for a video, it happens to me and my wife all the time. We'll be having dinner and then I'll have a thought for a video. I'm like, I got to go record it right now. And I go into my office, I make it, I come back, and we have dinner.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That is the best. Sometimes you just got to get it handled. And it's not a ton of time, right?
Nope. It takes me 2 minutes to make that video that just popped in my head. But I'm like, oh, that could work.
Right.
And then she just laughs because, I go to my office, I do it, and I come back.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. That is so cool.
And when you're creative, you got to take advantage of it.
Yep. So someone asked, when do you sleep? How much sleep do you get a night?
So I'm pretty busy with my goals. I'm getting an echo. Can you hear me okay?
Nope. I hear you great.
Okay. So I wake up at 4 a.m. I do my fitness thing. I work on my business. I go to work for my 9 to 5, come home, and then it's strictly my daughter time. She goes to bed, work on my business. Then I give my wife her time and then sleep.
I love it.
So I try to make sure that I'm 100% a father, 100% a husband, and 100% a businessman at all times of the day.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Okay. So you definitely need to come back in a few months with a check-in.
I'd love to.
So start, tracking anything. Come back and share anything new, a new goal you've reached. We want to hear about it. Always reach out to me if you have any questions, but when you are ready to come back on, definitely reach out. We need to get you back on the show.
I'd love to. This was fun.
For sure. All right. So thank you so much for Ryan for coming on. Let me share your TikTok really quick.
Okay.
So here is Ryan's TikTok on the screen. And then if you just search him up on Facebook, you can find him by his full name. And I don't want to butcher your last name if you want to share it with us.
It's Silvera.
Silvera. Ryan Silvera. So his TikTok is Ryan_Silvera.am. And then you can search Ryan Silvera on Facebook and find him there. Spell his last name Silveira, Silvera. So definitely go give him a follow. Be sure to tell him you saw him on Wake Up Legendary. And I'm sure he'll give you some love back as well.
Absolutely. I encourage anyone to reach out. I want to pick my brain some more.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming on. This was a fantastic interview. So much was dropped. If you came in late, guys, definitely go back to the beginning and check this out, because huge help to anyone that's just kind of in that valley of despair right now and how to keep going, huh?
It happens and it's normal.
Yep. And that's what's key. It's normal. It's a part of it. You just have to keep going.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Joanne.
All right, guys. Tomorrow, Matt is back. And then Thursday, I believe Dave is back on with more phenomenal guests. I've already checked them all out. That's on for this week. I'm so excited for you to meet them. I hope you gained a ton of value from today's episode. Definitely go back and rewatch. A lot was shared by Ryan. I hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday and stay legendary.